Hello everyone, it's Kim Dudash with Dudash Farms, and it is Friday and it's 6:45 and we've got Brian Dudash in the background.
Hello.
Yeah, so we are getting ready to prepare some dinner, but tonight we're not preparing something that we're actually going to eat this evening. Brian's going to walk us through the steps of what he does to prepare a beef brisket for smoking. So he's going to show you what he does for his brine and talk to you about how long he lets that, well, what's the word I'm looking for?
I guess cure.
Yeah, cure. And so, yeah, all of that. So we walked you through how to prepare pork belly for bacon a couple of weeks ago. So I know this is like the time of the year when people are really interested in smoking things or preparing, brisket and Boston butt and all that stuff. So tonight we're going to walk you through the steps of how to prepare a beef brisket for smoking. We missed last week. For those of you who don't know, I am an executive coach. So I'm the founder of Dudash Executive Coaching, and one of the groups that I'm coaching with this year is the MBA program at UT. And last week we had an event with the students, and so that's where I was, and we were not able to do What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. And I just want to say, if you're ever thinking of going back and getting your MBA, the program at Haslam College of Business at UT Knoxville is one of the top rated programs. And one of the things that sets it apart, and it's actually just recently been awarded for this, is their executive coaching piece of the MBA program, which I'm a part of, and I'm very proud of that. So anyway, that's why we were not here last week. So Brian, are we ready to start walking us through this? Okay, let me take you over and let's look and see what Brian is doing and how he's preparing this brisket.
Okay.
So what do we got?
So we have a half brisket.
Okay.
It's probably a little more than a half.
So
this
yeah,
is
so that's a
7
good
pounds.
thing to bring up, is that if you purchase a brisket from us, you don't have to purchase the whole brisket.
Right.
You can actually do a half.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we have them anywhere between 7 and 3 pounds.
Yep.
As a half.
Got it.
And the wholes get up to 10, 11, even some 12 pounders. So just
Yeah.
depends on how big the animal
how
is.
big your party is
Yeah.
too, right?
And I think sometimes the butcher cuts them in thirds to make his job easier.
All right.
So what we're gonna, you don't have to have a container this large, but we have a refrigerator downstairs that we use just for doing this type of stuff.
Right.
So what we're gonna put in is 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I know it sounds like a lot, but this does get watered down, and all of it does not stay on the meat.
Jessica Hall says, I logged in expecting to see Brian dressed as a pimp while cooking dinner, and I'm slightly disappointed.
All right, so what did I say, sugar or salt?
You said sugar.
Okay, then we have 3/4 of a cup of, what did I say again?
Salt.
I'm getting all mixed up.
Okay, sorry.
So one of each.
One of each.
3/4 salt, 3/4 sugar.
Okay. 3/4 salt, 3/4 sugar, and he's put that on top of the brisket.
Yep. 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. So if you don't want to go through this process, you can still just smoke a brine. I mean, if you just put like a rub on it.
Smoke a brisket, you mean?
Jeez, what did I say?
Smoke a brine.
No, I haven't been drinking either. I've had a long week.
I know, it has been a long week.
All right,
Really
so
has.
this is a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. And this is a tablespoon of juniper berries. So I've done it with those berries and without. They're dried berries. And I really can't tell a difference. And this is actually the start to a pastrami recipe. So if you were to put some cure in here, which is the pink salt,
yeah,
which is really a nitrate, which
yeah,
we don't like
so
to use.
that's what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is really actually the start of a pastrami.
Carolyn Clark says smoking a brine sounds fun. Oh,
And
hi,
then
Carolyn.
we're just going to add some pepper here.
Yeah, we're going to add some pepper. Ian Dudash is watching. Brad's
Mom.
watching.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah.
So then we're just going to cover it with some water.
Okay. So if you're just joining us, Brian is basically preparing a brisket, a beef brisket for smoking. And right now we're mixing the brine. So he's got the brisket in the container. He's put 3/4 of a cup of salt, 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Is that correct?
Yes.
And also pepper, nutmeg, garlic powder. And this recipe of the brine will be in our newsletter. So if you're curious and want that, you don't have to replay this and write it all down.
So this one still has that typical red beef color to it.
Yep.
This is one and we'll leave this in here for about 5 days before we smoke it. This one,
we just got it out.
Yeah, we just got it out. You can see how the color's changed. The salt and sugar has changed the color to it.
Yep.
And we actually won't smoke this until tomorrow.
That's right. We've got a party to go to, so we're taking brisket.
Yeah. So, smokers can be a pain in the butt to clean, so we're not just going to stick this in there. We have a pork belly that we're going to make burnt ends with, and actually a couple of hog jowls that been curing.
We'll use for different dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the hog jowl in like a bean stew or just beans. Carolyn Clark says, I love brisket. It takes time, but it's worth it. Yes, it is. It will be so tender and delicious. So
our rule of thumb is with our smoker is we only do it an hour per pound. And I've seen it up to 2 hours per pound. But our specific smoker, it's electric smoker. When I've done 2 hours, it's actually been too long. So you just kind of
watch it to make sure. Carolyn said, is Brian wearing his purple suit to the party tomorrow?
I wore it last week to a different party. I'm going to have to do something different this week.
So stay tuned for photos.
Yeah.
We'll see how he turns out. So
The Pope converted me.
Oh, I know. How about our little Pope, y'all? If you haven't seen those pictures of, and by the way, he had a Pope mobile. So he had, I don't know what kind of, exactly like the vehicle that the Pope. He has a stroller that looks like that little vehicle. Carolyn says she can't wait. So hi, Betsy Perry. Betsy's watching.
Speaking of Halloween, I think you need to update them on the. Pumpkin carving
I was trying to avoid that.
Why is that, Kim?
Because I didn't win.
I think it was a landslide.
Yeah, it was. So with our pumpkin carving contest, Brian won with his pumpkin taking his face off with the eyes in the back. So yeah, it was very, very, very creative, and it was great. Mine was just a free hand. I tried to make it look like the Grinch, so it is what it is. I didn't win this year. I got to up my game for next year.
You won last year.
Well, woohoo on pumpkin contest. Yes. Honestly, I would have voted for his also. It was very clever. Very, very clever. Yeah, Carolyn says it was precious. Yes, that little guy, he is the most precious baby, best baby ever. Yeah. So we will, Brian has put the brisket in the brine. We're going to put the cover on it, put it in the refrigerator, and it'll stay there for 5 days.
Yep.
And then we'll pull it out and we'll smoke it.
Yep.
So, yeah. So it's really, like Carolyn Clark was saying, it does take some time, but it's totally worth it. It turns out delicious. And we will have the recipe for that brine in our newsletter. So be watching for that. Also, how about this fall? Y'all, these leaves this year, if you're in East Tennessee, and probably other parts of Tennessee as well, and maybe Georgia, the leaves this year are spectacular. So I hope you have been enjoying the beautiful fall colors this year. It's just been spectacular. Of course, our farmers market has closed for the season, right? So we'll start back up in the spring of 2023. So be looking for that probably mid-April. So check the farm page, and also if you want to follow the Dandridge Farmers Market page, we'll be updating that. And then if you want to find our product over the winter months, just reach out to us. We sell by appointment off the farm, and we'll be happy to have you guys come out and pick up some product. Or we still have some product at Martha's Market in downtown Dandridge. We plan on having it there and keeping them stocked all winter. So you can always check there if you don't have time, or you're just wanting to run by and pick something up without coming by the farm. Either way is fine with us. We just want to let you know that we are here and we're going to be fully stocked all winter. So you can still get some product from us. We wanted to just share some interesting news with you. So we're going to have some visitors to the farm on Thursday, this next Thursday. We're going to have a group from Germany coming out to do a farm tour along with Walter State Community College. They're starting a new program there. I'm going to let Brian tell you a little bit more about it because he's been involved in this. So Brian, tell them a little bit about what's going on.
Oh, thanks. Put me on the spot. So Walter State is actually starting a butchering program, and Harris Country Meats, who we use, is going to be part of the program. They'll have an apprenticeship program.
Yeah.
So the Germans are it's a German government sponsored program.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But if they're willing to spend some money, Walter State will take it.
Yeah. And do something very productive with it.
No, it's definitely a skill that's kind of been lost, over the years, and it's a skill that's needed. So we're happy that Walter State is getting into the program too. And it's a couple different butchering programs. Some are geared more towards chefs, some are geared towards more like butcher shops.
Yeah.
So it's great. So the folks from Walter, they just want to, while they're here really not for some meetings with Walter State, but they wanted to get out and see some farms in East Tennessee, and
we're happy to host them here, and we're really you all keep that in mind. If you know someone who is considering learning that trade of butchering, like Brian said, they're going to have a couple of programs, one geared toward butcher shops like we go to, and then also one geared towards chefs. So if you're interested in that or know someone who is, know that program is coming to Walter State very soon, and we're proud of that. Carolyn says, love this fall. I have been traveling from Virginia to Nashville the past couple of weeks, and it's beautiful. It is. And Carolyn Clark, do you mean to tell me that you have driven right by our farm and you have not stopped to have lunch with us? Girl, if you're still doing that, you need to let me know so that we can, you could come here and have dinner with us or even spend the night. I would love that. So, reach out. Joe Segan is watching. Hey, Joe. Sandra Hubbs is watching. Carolyn says, I knew you would say that. Okay, so if you knew I would say that, then why haven't you reached out? Crazy girl. All right. This has been a really, really short What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. And if you're just joining us, we really aren't preparing or cooking anything that we're going to have for dinner this evening. But what we are doing is preparing a beef brisket for smoking. We've got one that we prepared and we're going to smoke tomorrow for a party that we're going to. And then we're going to prepare another one to smoke in about 5 or 6 days for next weekend. So if you're interested in something like that, the recipe will be in our newsletter that goes out at the first of the week. With that said, if you have never subscribed to our Dudash Farms newsletter, you should hop on over to our website. It's dudashfarms.com, and subscribe to the newsletter. What we do is we send out a newsletter once a month with the recipes of the meals that we have prepared or the dishes that we have prepared the month before. So we try very hard not to inundate you with lots of needless emails. We want to provide you with just some good, most of the recipes that we prepare on What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms are simple and easy meals that you can prepare for your family. And then we also try to prepare some of the cuts that people are unfamiliar with. You've probably seen something and thought, that looks really neat, but I don't have a clue what to do with it. Well, we're going to try to show you what to do with it. And with that said, we also have a YouTube channel. So all of these lives that we do, we actually put a recording of it on our YouTube channel. So you can go over to YouTube and like and subscribe Dudash Farms YouTube page, and all of the past videos. I think there's almost 40 videos of us preparing meals. And then if you see one that you like and you don't, and you want the recipe for it, just shoot us an email. It's dudashfarms@gmail.com. We'd love to provide that for you. Let's see what else. Jody writes, says, hello, I'm a little late. Hey, Jody, that's okay. We don't mind if you're late. We're just happy you're here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I told Brian I can't believe how dark it is outside, and in a couple of weeks it's going to be even darker. Gosh, it just seems crazy. But it is wintertime, and we're going to enjoy it. It's, I'm grateful for another day. And yeah, so we're just going to enjoy it. Beth Fisk, hi Beth. Beth is watching. Y'all, thanks for joining us. We will be back next Friday night, November 4th. If you're a Vols fan, let's be cheering those Vols on tomorrow with Georgia. And yeah, so that's all we have for What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. I will post pictures of our final product after we have smoked the brisket tomorrow. We'll post some pictures of that and let you see what it looks like. You can hear my cats fighting at the door. Anyway, you all have a great evening, and we'll see you next Friday. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye.